Hey everyone, it's Stephanie Garcia, and today I'm excited because guess what? I challenged AI to grow my email list, and the results were absolutely astounding. I was able to create a lead magnet in just a matter of seconds, which is quite wild. I don't know how many of you are actually trying to prepare for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, or just even grow your email list. I'm going to go into the details today of what I've been using, this amazing AI tool, and how I've been connecting it to Stampede Social to grow my email list in time for the holidays, because we all know that when it comes to email, that's one of the best ways for you to drive those holiday sales. So having said that, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm still here in beautiful sunny San Diego. It's 77 degrees. So having a ton of fun. But having said that, yeah, let me know where you're tuning in from. What have you been working on? Are you preparing for Black Friday? And if so, let me know all the things. All right, so having said that, let me bring my guest onto the show, the amazing, the wonderful Jeffrey from Stampede Social. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing good. You had your own Comic Con. How exciting is that?
I went to Comic-Con. That's like my big, you can see my background. So that's like, I live for it. I actually running out of space on my wall now. I have so many signed 8x10s. I have to like start to squeeze some together or decide, all right, maybe I got to retire this one, put up these new ones. So
You have them on rotation. And that's one of the things that I do too. I have things on rotation as far as like, oh, do I put this or do that? But I will tell you this. If you ever come over to my house, outside I have like that Mandalorian thing where it's a stormtrooper head on a spike outside my front door. And people thought that it was like a Halloween thing, but no, it's there like all year long. And even during the pandemic, and I feel like anytime I had DoorDash or Instacart deliveries, they were kind of hesitant because you could see them on the Ring camera. They're like, where am I going? And then you see me pop out of the door. I'm like,
I think
hi.
I'm hesitant right now to continue to talk to you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. All right, let me go ahead and fix this over here. We got Marie Tahan Daniels. So we're going to fix this. I just basically, I got this new profile. I was building out a profile, and that's what happened. So we're going to fix this. This is Marie Tahan Daniels. She's amazing.
Hello,
She's here in San
Marie.
Diego, too. I know. Marie's here. Good morning. All right. So, Jeff, I was telling you over this, I was like, oh my gosh, I have been building lead magnets like in a snap. And I couldn't believe just how simple it was, because now, obviously, with Stampede Social, I'm sharing it on my stories. I'm sharing it as a carousel. And oh, you make it so easy, friend. It's just one of those things where I'm like, it's so stress free. Like, and I love it. I love that every time I check my email, it's like, you've got a new subscriber. And I'm like, thank you, Stampede. That was so magical.
Oh, a nice musical cue.
I know, right? We've got Brandon Fortino here who's tuning in. Bum, ba, bum.
Hey,
Good, good, good.
Brandon.
All right, so let me show you this magical AI tool that I've been using. And Jeff, have you seen it yet? Have you checked it out yet?
You know, I I went to it after you mentioned it and I realized, oh, you know what? I've seen this before. I used it. I don't know if it was maybe on Product Hunt or something like that where I discovered, I know, but I've played with this before. So I'm excited though to get the tutorial from
The
you. But this is
tutorial.
great. This is great because having a place to go and send people while using Stampede Social, perfect. So let's do
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So again, for everyone, it was one of those things where, I've been a content creator for so many years now, and I have blog posts, I have this. I know my field, especially when it comes to live streaming. But sometimes when it comes to creating digital products or even lead magnets, it's one of those like, oh, now I have to design it. And I don't know about you, Jeff, but sometimes I'm in Canva and I'm like, oh, but which design do I use? And then I'm just like in this analysis paralysis. Have you ever felt that before?
Oh yeah, when you can use something like this and it says put an image of somebody looking happy while dancing in a field of flowers. You're like, "Oh, perfect. I didn't have to think of that myself."
Okay, so what I'm sharing with you guys today is I discovered this tool probably maybe like 2 months ago. And I've been using it on the back end, and my good friends over at Thinkific had created this. And so they have this AI where basically you could create all these different lead magnets, digital products, and all the different things. So easy. And I loved it because like I've got Letitia Styles on here. She's one of my good friends. And I was like, wait a minute, if she is using it, I got to check it out, right? So it's one of those things where I'm like, come on, you guys, this is a no brainer. So let me show you just how easy it is. So the first thing that I did in here was basically it prompts you is like, what does your audience see you as an expert in? And so in this case, other than being like Jeff's fan club president, no, Stampede Social president, one of my favorite things is obviously audience sees me as a live streaming expert. Yeah. And so I'll just put that in there, and then all of a sudden the Leap will go ahead and generate ideas for me. They're like, okay, let's pick a topic. And I was like, oh, thank you. This is like having a second brain. Just create this content for me. And so in here it says, my guide to starting a successful live streaming channel. Jeff, I get this question all the time, right? People are always asking, hey, what do I have to do? Blah, blah, blah. And for me, this was really, I could choose that one or, my guide to engaging and growing your live stream audience. How about you? Which one would you choose out of these three? My guide to monetizing your live stream content? Or do you want to see more topics?
No, I think let's go with starting a successful live streaming channel. I think that's a good place to start for all of us.
For all of us. So we'll generate our first product. It says building trust by providing value. Goes on and on. First of all, I love this design. It's so easy. So we just started the show 7 minutes ago. And then, so the magic is in progress. And while that happens, shout out to Marie Tahan, who says, I know how to do the things and do it for clients, but I'm always procrastinating on doing on my own for my own business. Oh, that's right.
Isn't that true? That's true for all of us.
I feel like that it's for all of us. We if you pose a question for us, for clients, it's like, oh, here are all the ideas. But when it comes to us, it's like, where did my brain go?
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so here's a lead magnet. And then I click on personalize. And then, let me sign in first. Come on, the Leap. Let me see if I can move this over here. I should have just done that in the first place. Sign in here. Find me. Over here. Everyone's going to see my email. Wait a second. Let's see. Let's go.
Now they can just email you direct to be on your mailing list.
But you know what? Everyone if you're on my email list, it says it's for me anyway. Okay, so here's the one, my guide to using live video to grow your online authority. So that's the one that I've already created. My guide to repurposing content. Oh, you know what? I should probably go back. I think I forgot what I was just building. Because I had to log in. Let's go back. Generate with AI. We're going to start this over again. Do you want a guide, a challenge, or tutorial, or a mini course?
Mini course.
Mini course. Okay. Oh, sees me as a live streaming expert. Already sees it. Generating learning outcomes.
Gotta love AI, huh?
I know, right? So then it says, by the end of this mini course, you'll understand the key elements of engaging live stream content, live streaming equipment, and then this, how to effectively, okay, we're going to promote and market your live streams. I feel like that's the part where sometimes, Jeff, I have clients who are like, let's do a live stream. I'm like, okay, great. Now we have to promote it. They're like, but what if no one shows up? I'm like, babe, if no one knows, no one's going to go. You have to promote it, right? So while this is going over here, Carla is saying, yeah, that's what happens. I give out ideas for others, but for me, I struggle. This is where we all need to collectively just have a mastermind and come here on Mondays at 9:30 and say, okay, here's your first step into creating content. Because Carla, if you want to get people into your trainings, your workshops, and all that other stuff, we have to create that content, right? Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but in my social media strategist Facebook group, I was asking people, what's the least favorite thing about creating content? And they're like, I don't know how to get started. And I was like, this is the show for you.
We should start a group and then use like the Secret Santa technique. We each pick someone else's name and then we build theirs and then they build ours. Since we don't have time to build each other's ourselves, we all round robin it. There you go. Boom.
I like that. Wait a minute. I like that. A Secret Santa content workshop. It's like you just randomly pick somebody else's and you're like, this is what I would create for you. And then they walk away with actionable content. I love that.
That's right. Just Venmo us $99 if you want to be a part of it. And
hey, we could create, comment something. Comment Santa workshop. All right. So Full Jeds, good morning. All right, so it says here, say hello to your mini course. We've created a draft to help you get started, and it's only missing one key ingredient, which is basically you. Click on got it, And then so from here, this is basically Carla, Brandon, Fulgens. We put this together, Introduction to Effective Live Stream Promotion and Marketing. So obviously, Jeff loves finding stock images and whatnot. But
My
in here,
favorite.
you could swap out the different graphics and do all the different things. So if I go here, you could put suggested video content. For those of you that are using Ecamm, this is a no-brainer. So you could introduce yourself as a successful live streamer, discuss the importance of effective promotion. It's already built it out for you.
Hi,
And then
Tony.
I know, right? Tony's in the house. And then Linda is here. Linda is also saying yes to starting a group. We're all personal. We're all personal while we share super talents with our clients. It's so true. So Jeff, as you can see here, I'm basically building out all the different things. You could have key takeaways. Honestly, you could just pull this from a blog post. And then not only that though, but you also have an option here where you could have quizzes where people can answer these quizzes. So this is basically your mini course on building an audience for your live stream, how to get it promoted and all the different things. This is 10 out of 20. That's robust. Wouldn't you agree?
This is incredible. Yeah, when I was playing with it last night, just to prepare, just so I hadn't seen. I was like, oh god, this is crazy. And then you can have Chat GPT open next to you, and you could be asking it the questions to help fill in some of these blanks too. Use AI
Literally.
to help the AI. Hey, this is crazy. We don't even need humans anymore. What do we need?
Well, we need humans for live video. I think that's what makes live videos so
Oh
engaging. It's like
yeah,
for real. But yeah, so you can see that like it's built out pretty much everything here at this point, all the way up until the very end. Congratulations, you've completed your course. So once you're done with this, literally Carla, Brandon, Linda, I was done. There it is. And then to share my product, this mini course, I now just upload an image, put in a description and all the different things. And if you want it to just be a lead magnet, you could capture their email addresses, or if you want to have a fixed price, pay what you want, you could do that as well. The part for me where really it tied in Stampede Social was the fact that, you could view the live page, and this live page will basically, this URL is what I would actually put in my, oops, now I just made it disappear, is what I would put in Stampede Social, and it would just automatically go ahead and do that. And that's the part that I found so interesting. So what are your thoughts about the leap? What are you thinking?
I think the leap is awesome. So the leap, just so we're clear, is this am I paying? Are people paying to get to the leap,
Oh,
or
that's
am
such
I
a good
just sending
question.
them to? Or are we sending them to the leap, and it's like a mini thing, and then if they want to learn more, so could I say, hey, if you want to learn about this feature, and then I could actually make a leap that focuses on a particular feature, just so they could like kind of get to know it real quick, and then maybe if they want to sign up for a mastermind or a workshop, and that could it end that way. Is there forms on these leaps?
There are forms on these leaps, and it makes it really interesting. Let me see if I could bring this back up over here, because like I broke my scene. I decided to delete it.
Oh
But
no.
we'll put it back up here. Yay. Thank you, Ecamm. You make things so easy. But yeah, once you're in here and you create the lead magnet, it gives you a landing page that you can use. And that's basically what I put into Stampede Social. And then people just started signing up for it. And to me, it was completely wild, because I was doing this virtual summit, or sometimes I've been doing these workshops here in San Diego. And so with Stampede Social, they would just scan the QR code, and I would say, hashtag course or hashtag mini. And then it went directly into this, and they're like, oh, and then they just filled it out. And I was like, that was simple. Because obviously with this URL, it's like theleap.co// blah, 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 right? And I didn't want to have that as something just kind of on the slide itself. And so just having this built into the leap.co to host, I mean, I'm not even paying hosting, Jeff. It's wild. Right? So it basically did all of the design for me. I had to create like all these little mini things for it. But then on the back end, it was Stampede Social, and I got it done. And it was a completely like no brainer at that point.
I'm so glad to hear that. It's do we want to show them how to kind of connect it
Yeah, I'll
with
show you
Stampede
how
Social?
I did it on my end. It's always so funny, because then when I'm clicking on here, it's going to like log in. You'll see all my stuff. Oh, look at that. Now, okay, I'm gonna have to hide my screen.
Unsupported browser. What are you?
I'm gonna have to
What?
put you on screen while I
What?
build this out.
What crazy browser are you using?
I
The
know.
an eCam browser. The But yeah, I mean, so as just to get ahead of Stephanie, but that's the cool thing is when you have a place to go, the leap is amazing if you don't already have, say, a web page that you maybe want to send them to, or because you can send them anywhere you want from Stampede
Mm-hmm.
Social. So I use it for my personal podcast. I'll send them to the web page I created for that. A lot of people send to just a registration form for mailing lists or anything really. But this is great too because now we can create new things that can maybe live outside of what we also have at our fingertips, and it kind of um, widens the whole
The whole
breadth
opportunity for
of
it.
how we can use it. Yeah.
Yep. Let me see if I did this. This is the funny thing. Sometimes when I'm using a web widget on, yeah. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do this instead. Doo-doo.
There you go.
There we go. That
Yeah.
fixed it. And I'm gonna move us over here. Yay! Breaking things. Okay, so this is
Yay.
basically how I used it. It's interesting. What this shows like my 94 ways here at the top, but that wasn't my most recent post.
So you just to add additional posts to your homepage, it's blocked in our screen, but there's an add button there.
There's an add button. Oh, this
Right at
one.
the top there. Yeah.
Got it.
So as new ones come in, and then you can just hit add all posts and then save, which is being blocked by my head.
Good. I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay,
There you
great.
go.
All right.
So the whole idea here is that everyone doesn't necessarily want every one of their posts on their dashboard, but when they're on your dashboard, you can click into them and they have some additional cool features that Stampede Social adds. That's really one of the benefits of Stampede Social. It adds features to Instagram, all the features that you want, including like what we're talking about, getting people to this Leap lead magnet.
Yeah, I love it. Hey, and shout out to Lydia Martin who just joined. She said, I joined Stampede Social from your last video with Jeff. Excited to start using it. Lydia, literally, let me just show you like what I did over the weekend because I was talking to a couple
Lydia's
of friends.
awesome.
Lydia's
awesome.
You had a one-on-one with her. This was one of the things I was talking to my friends. I'm like, hey, are you going to do something for Black Friday? And they're like, I would want to, but I don't have enough time. Like I'd have to write emails. And I was like, oh, so you need like a Black Friday email sequence? And they're like, yeah. I was like, okay. So then I went into the Leap and I basically created this image here where I was like, get my Black Friday email sequence, like all the different things. And if I click over here, will it show you the actual post? It will, right?
You could click if you want to actually go into the post on Instagram. You can click the image there, and it'll take you to Instagram.
Ooh, okay, great. So then this is basically what I did. I said, hey, what exactly is included in my Black Friday email swipe file? So I said, this is free if you want a proven way to boost your holiday sales. Set up your own Black Friday email sequence, without being overwhelmed and all the things. And it's a 5-day pre-written email sequence. It basically starts Friday, then you have Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday, which is basically your last day. And so I said, comment #email, and then I'll send you the swipe file. And then it's interesting because I feel like my audience at this point now, Jeff, because they see me putting it in stories and all the different things, like my messages blew up. And I was like, thank you, Stampede.
That's a normal reaction because like what people are used to is go to link in bio, and so they're used to. Thank you, Lydia. And so if so they're used to like just ignoring that, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I don't have time to leave the post that I'm at. Maybe I'll remember later, and then you never remember. But we've seen this a lot where you start to use Stampede Social, and that you can see the call to action there. Comment #email below, and I'll send you a file. You'll get a DM from Stephanie. So people see it and then they're like, oh, okay. And then there's like a hockey stick growth where people start to like, just like you said, realize, oh, okay, I get it. This is how I'm communicating with Stephanie now. This is how I'm getting my information.
Yep.
It's going to put it into my DM with Stephanie. All my Stephanie content is now right there and I can get to it real easy because it's right. I just have to remember Stephanie, go to Hey Stephanie on Instagram and boom, it's all there. So it's great. So as people start to realize that, then more and more people will use those call to actions, which is great.
Exactly. And I think one of the things that I enjoy most about having people comment or send in a DM is that typically before, like let's say in a story, I would just put like a sticker link to the website, and then I don't know who exactly, like who the person is that clicked on it, but I know from paid media I could retarget that audience and blah blah blah. What I think where Stampede Social makes it really exciting is then I could go back and I could say, oh, Lydia, thank you so much for checking out the Black Friday email secrets. Like, what do you have going on? Now I could have a conversation and say, like, well, what are you offering? Because I'm going to be offering this. Maybe we could, co-promote or do something together, or maybe I can share it on your behalf. And it just starts this deeper relationship, I feel like, with your audience and your prospects, where they really get to know you and you're invested in their business. Makes it fun.
It does. And, there's also something self motivating about it for you as well. Because if you take the stories example, right? And I think we may have talked about this last time, but there's a sticker, there's a URL sticker. Why shouldn't I use that? It's like Stampede Social is about turning the anonymous into known. And so if you send them to link in bio, assuming they maybe that less than
They'll find
1%
it.
that do go, right? Then they click, you never know. Unless they literally complete an action, fill out a form, something on your website. You never know that happened. And for stories, if they click on the URL sticker, I mean, maybe a click did it, but I don't know it was Stephanie that did it. And with
Yeah.
Stampede Social, it kind of brings those worlds together, and it allows, so get them into the DMs, and then you have the best of both worlds. I know who commented, and the retargeting still works because they've engaged. So
Yes.
you get, if you're going to do ads on your targeted at your account. So it's the best of both worlds. You can start to build a literal one-to-one relationship and get all the benefits that Meta has under the covers with the retargeting and all that kind of good stuff.
I love it. It's like that quantity and quality, because I feel like really in those conversations, you could really get to know, what are their pain points? Or sometimes I'll even ask people like, what else do you need? So, for example, Lydia is also saying here, yeah, I don't cold message, but if they have requested a resource, it's the perfect lead into a conversation. Yeah, and I feel like that's most people, if they're looking for a freebie, a template, a mini course, or any of that stuff, have that conversation. Ask them, like, what else can I help you with? And they're like, oh, do you have something for this or for that? And for me, it's the way that I do my Stampede Social call to actions. And I think I told you this before. I was like, if it's something that I think they need, it's hashtag need, right? If it's something I'm like, oh my gosh, you really want this, it's hashtag want. And it just becomes a part of my conversation versus saying, oh, go to blah, 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 / da, 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 da. It's like, no, just comment this one thing, and it makes it so easy.
Yeah, it's the easier the hashtag, the better, because you want to avoid typos. It's like we were doing one with someone, I think they used the word millionaire, and you realize right away, oh, wow, that's a really hard word to spell.
Exactly. Yeah. And
so it's like, but you learn that real quick. And so doing your approach where it's just real simple call to actions, that's definitely the way to go. Definitely the way to go. I want to show everyone the QR code, because you mentioned the QR code, because
oh yeah.
that to me is like the cool thing about Stampede Social. We have some real core features, and then there's like some, if you click on campaigns,
Yep.
there's some like mini features kind of scattered throughout that we get to. So right here on the campaigns page, there's that QR code and that we create for you. That will open up your Instagram DM. So what Stephanie was mentioning was when she's at a real live event where people are in the same room. I think that happens again now. So, which is exciting. So, and I use this when I'm speaking. At the end, I put this up on the slide, and I have a campaign set up. Mine's hashtag slides. And I ask people, comment hashtag slides. And then Stephanie, when she was they would come to the table and they would comment on hers. So what's really cool about that is who did it.
Yeah.
Right? So normally, like when you're if you think about the times you've been at like maybe a TEDx conference or something, and everyone's doing this, and all it's doing is going to a web page that's opening up a browser on your phone, you never go back. You never go
Yeah.
back, right? I
Yeah.
mean, I think once a month I close the 100 open tabs on my phone. What I mean? From things that just opened up, because it's just not a way that we work. It's not a way that we think. So this gets them into your DMs. And so when I'm speaking, even if just 10 people from the audience do it, that's a lead list of 10 people. And I know which 10 people wanted it, whether they click on the link or not, because they've engaged with me. It's in the
Yes.
DM and it's in a report. So that to me is really cool. And if people just walk up to Stephanie has a table and they just walk up to it, even if Stephanie's not paying attention, and they do it, and she walks in and they go, when do these people do this? When did Lydia scan my QR code? Blah blah blah. So it's a really cool way to engage people outside of Instagram, but while
Yeah.
using this meta tech.
I love it. And here's a comment from Doc Rock. He says, this makes us ask for things and helps ease cold messages. And it does, because I figure if somebody wants, let's say, that Black Friday email sequence, for me, automatically, I'm like, ooh, you have a Black Friday thing going on? Like, what's going on? What are you offering? And so for me, I could tell people like, oh yeah, what are you going to offer? What are you working on? And so for those of you that are interested, like I said before, if you head on over to Instagram, you'll see this in action. I'm at Hey Stephanie Live, but you just leave the comment #email. That will give you this 5-day email sequence. And for those of you that are interested, we go into all these things. It goes really fast, but everything that's in there is basically, how do you open up on a Black Friday, and how do you put in reminders? What are your goals for this and all the different things? And then there's also a slide in there in that sequence where I tell you, this is my tech stack for Black Friday, which is really helpful, because then if any of my subscribers are like, oh, okay, how are you using Stampede Social? I could direct them to another thing or direct them to another source that I'm using for it, which makes it super helpful.
Super helpful. Put Doc Rock on. He's talking truths. I wonder how many. I like, right? You're my favorite.
I wonder how many of the people who took the iPhone photos of the slides actually take action on them. Yeah, it's one of those things where,
I'm taking a screenshot of this.
Yeah, it's funny because sometimes when I'm at a talk, they might what do you call it? Take a screen, or they'll take a picture of the QR code, but because you're still in the middle of a talk, if your form to capture that lead is super long, right? And let's be honest, we see people, they're like, your first name, last name, company, what size of people in your company, what's your title, da da da, and you're still in the middle of your signature talk, and you're showing the next slide with a framework, they've already exited out of their camera app to then take more pictures. And so I find that when you leave that conversation open in the DMs with Stampede Social, then it's like, oh yeah, there's that thing again,
Exactly.
And it's super simple.
Right. And you're starting the conversation, that's what's key. That's what we want to do. We want to put the social in social, even if we're using a little magic behind the scenes to kind of get that going, to break the ice. Let's Stampede Social, break the ice. There's a tagline. I'm gonna have to.
That's a tagline. We're coming up with all the taglines.
I'm gonna have to call my agency right now. Hey, I got gold. I got gold for you.
You got to break. It's it's an icebreaker, that's for sure. And then I think even on the back end, you could start. At least for me, I like to create client profiles of oh, this person reached out to me for X, Y, or Z, and they signed up for this and that. And obviously on the back end I use ConvertKit. I could see what that person was interested in and all those different things. And because they're already in my DMs, I could go deeper into that conversation. It's hey, you had reached out because you were interested in Stampede Social, you're interested in Ecamm, plus you're interested in Black Friday. Have you thought about using Instagram Live with all three of those tools? And then that's oh, wait, I haven't thought about that.
We're not even on Instagram right now, which is funny, because Stampede Social works amazing on Instagram Live, and we're live everywhere but Instagram. But that's only because Instagram Live, by the way, everyone, doesn't play well with all these tools. They haven't you can go live everywhere at the same time except Instagram. You have to do that individually.
One of my things was I was thinking of setting up my phone on a tripod and then just basically doing the show. And then I was going to pin a comment that says, if you actually want to watch the show, leave the comment #watch. And then it would redirect them over to, YouTube or LinkedIn or all the other places. So I'll have to do that next week and just kind of show people.
We should try that. We'll try that.
We'll try that and then see how that pans out. P.S. by the way, we have a comment from Doc Rock who's saying, with my ADD, if I take out my phone, I'm going to have 8 other apps after I took that picture and you lost me. And it's true. He's not alone. And I find
no,
that.
Yeah. Oh,
Go ahead.
no, I was just going to make a silly comment. I went to a concert over the weekend and they made me put my phone in a bag. I relate to Doc is all I'm saying. So I couldn't use my phone or even look at it for an hour, 2 hours. It was like torture.
That does
So
sound
I get
like
it. I
torture.
get it, Doc. I feel you.
Man. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah. So we'll have to do that next week and then see. And that's another experiment, right? I feel like these days, Stampede Social has just given me a lot of times of where I experiment. I'm like, hey, I'm going to use the leap.co to basically create this lead magnet. And then if people are interested in it, it'll connect over to Stampede Social. Boom, we'll see how it works out. And then even now, so next week, we'll go live on Instagram just manually on my mobile device. And then we'll see if that actually drives people over to YouTube because they'll see a behind the scenes. That's going to be exciting.
Oh, and you can invite me onto your live and then it'll show up on my live and then direct.
Oh, that's true. And then we'll have like 2 things going on.
This is so tricky.
I know. It's fun. It's fun. All right. So for those of you that are tuning in, what are your thoughts? I mean, now we've shown you how you could create digital products, lead magnets, mini courses by using this free tool, the leap.co. I've also shown you how I'm using it on the back end to collect email list and grow my audience and drive leads by using Stampede Social. I'd be really curious. Lydia, Brandon, Doc, the rest of the crew, what are your thoughts? What are you going to build? Because literally I built that in a matter of mere seconds. And even just, oh gosh, like don't even get me started on Stampede Social, Jeff. I feel like sometimes I'm just having a random conversation with people on Instagram Live. I'm like, oh, here, I'll just build it now. And then it's like activated in like a snap. It's so crazy.
It just takes 5 seconds to set one up. Show everyone where they can show everyone your promo code.
My promo code, I know, right?
At this point, we should say like they're like, I got to get some of this for myself.
Seriously. So let me go ahead and just put this over here, and then I'll drop it in the comments too because I just noticed that I could do that over here. So so for those of you that are interested, and I know that you are, boom, 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 go over here. Head on over to. I'll drop it in the comments. It'll go. You know what? It's gonna go to my destinations. I think you're going to have to comment on your own too.
Well, if you go to stampede.social, this is my fancy page,
this is my fancy
which reminds
page.
you. So if you go to you can use the code even if you go to just stampede.social and click on plans and pricing and just use ECAM, ECAMM for discount. And then you just choose the plan you want. It's good for any of them. So.
Yeah. And this is for any of you that are, even if you're creating B2B content, if you're doing podcast episodes, webinars, summits, all those different things, this makes your life so much easier because it gets people to the content quickly so that way they're not distracted. I think that should be part of
If you've
your next
ever
campaign.
just written in a caption, go to my link in bio, slap your hand, boom. That means you could use Stampede Social. If you ever like paste a URL in to a caption on URL, slap your hand. Because that means those URLs and captions on Instagram are useless. So there's a cool virtual, it's probably too long for this day and age, but 10 years ago, that 8-minute video right there would have been short. Now it's like, what are you doing? You're killing me. But it takes you through a nice process. But so it's all good. So let Stephanie hook you up, and then you can be a master of live streaming and getting content to people on Instagram without using link in bio, just like Stephanie.
That's right. And you know what? Since
another tagline. I got another tagline right there.
Hey, that's what the transcripts are for. You know, it's interesting because I was in this Amazon influencer group, Jeff, and one of the terms of services is that you can't, as an Amazon influencer, we're not allowed to share direct links to products on Amazon. And so one of the things that I was telling people was like, when I'm unboxing something on an Instagram live, I use Stampede Social and I'll say, leave the comment hashtag need. And then it drives them over to like this little mini menu that I have. And it's like little categories. It's like, do you want like a mobile studio? Click here. And then that directs them over to my Amazon influencer store. Or do you want a studio like mine? Boom. And then that does it over there. So this isn't just like B2B, but also for you content creators out there. Like I'm looking at you, Doc. That would be super helpful.
So Amazon won't let you just link, right? That's kind of weird, right? You think you'd want to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but you bring up an interesting point, and I use this a lot on one of our sites that we use to do a little testing and stuff, which is I create mini destinations, right?
Yeah.
So the idea of the link that you put in a link in bio, the idea of that link is not bad,
Yeah.
right? But it's like but the idea of it being hyper focused is really something that's pretty cool. Like Linkfire does this really well, where you can create like if you're talking about a podcast episode, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and so you send them to that page, and instead of sending that opens up and says click here for, then it gives them the option Apple, Spotify, Good Pods,
Oh
Google
gosh.
Play,
Yeah.
YouTube, right? So, but it's all focused on just that episode, that right?
True.
So you can, just like you said, you could just be focusing on something in terms of prepping people for a live stream and says, here's the perfect microphone setups that you need. And here's 5 microphones, depending on your price points that you need, right? And so they type in hashtag mic, and then they get one page that has all those 5 listed. That way they don't
Mm-hmm.
have to ask for each one individually from you as well. So that helps you as a creator as well to kind of fine tune what people are getting from you and more value out of each one of those links.
Agree. Agree. And shout out to Doc Rock. This is a good question for you, Jeff. He's asking, can you have them leave a hashtag in the comments on post too? He's new to this.
Yeah. So when you set up a hashtag campaign, an automated DM campaign, and the hashtag is, let's just say hashtag need, like Stephanie mentioned earlier. When you set it up in the background in the dashboard that Stephanie was showing you earlier, you just type in need and whatever the URL is, right? And then once you hit add, it's ready to go. And once ready to go means is a comment to a post, to a reel,
Story.
Instagram story comment, Instagram live comment, or you can tell them just DM me that direct. And the reason you would sometimes ask them to DM direct, um, this came up once. We were talking to a publisher who publishes lots and lots of content, and it came up, well, what if people don't want to know that they were requesting this piece of content, right? Maybe it's a little sensitive, or yeah, like how I know my wife is cheating on me, something like I don't want my wife to know that I'm looking into, or whatever it is, right? You can, so you can say comment below or DM me hashtag
Yeah.
need, and so that works either way. And then they can DM you hashtag need, that's anonymous between the two of you, and you go from there. They still get the automation.
Yeah, it's fascinating because, like, even me, I think for me as a content creator, like selfishly, I obviously want people to comment publicly, right? Because then the algorithm goes, oh, you're getting a lot of engagement on your post. But even in this most recent one where I was talking about the Black Friday email sequence, I found that most people were DMing me privately. And it made a lot of sense because if they are using a template and a particular sequence, if they didn't want to make any changes to it other than just date, time, and whatever the promo is, they wouldn't want other people to know, like, oh, I'm using the same thing as that, right? But
Right.
Doc Rock is definitely saying, shut the front door. That is fine.
Doc Rock is rocking this live
I'm
stream.
telling you. Doc, since you're here, let me tell you. So even this one, if you were to comment on any of my Instagram activity and you said hashtag need, it would direct you to this little mini thing that I created. And it was my studio setup, mobile video setup, video editing or consulting. And then down there was like my next intensive. And so, Doc, literally when I'm just on an Instagram live and I'm unboxing, Aperture or a new light, or like Emma is on there, it makes it super simple. Jeff, I don't even know if you saw this, but my daughter, she has a little Etsy store. She makes these little potato pins, right?
Oh, wow.
And Doc was just like, oh, what's the link to the Etsy store? And I was like, well, it's etsy.com/blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what? Just leave the comment #pin. And it was really cool because as baby girl was like live streaming, she's like, oh, look at that. Yeah, someone left a comment. But it was cute. Like if my daughter, and she's 8, if she could do it, then any of you content creators, business owners, agencies, all the things, this is so easy to do.
I might need to talk to your daughter about how to get my Etsy store set up. I set up a Printify, but can't figure out how to get it over to Etsy.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Uh,
so this is Doc.
different topic. Different.
Doc has his
Where
own
to?
hashtag. Yeah, Doc, you're gonna have to privately DM that over to Jeff, and Jeff will give you all the answers to that. But yeah, shout out to this user, says sounds amazing. Yes, so if you want to give it a try, right, head on over to Stampede Social, stampede.social. I'll put it in the comments again, and then you guys, pretty much the promo code is just ECAM. It's ECAMM, because you obviously know that I love my ECAM fam. You'll save 20% off any of your subscription, any of the different plans that you're using. But literally, it will just pay for itself at that point. For me, it was a complete no-brainer. I think I started using this like religiously. I would say since like October 8th, because I could see it in my dashboard. I'm like, oh, this is when I first started using it. And then ever since then, I've done workshops, intensives, all the different things. I'm the type of person where if someone says like, oh, can you teach me? I'm like, well, let's see who's interested. If I get at least like 4 people interested, Jeff, I'm like, there you go. We have an intensive, hey, we have a workshop. That's worth my time. Boom, done, done, done. Marie says, I love that Emma isn't camera shy. What a cutie.
Oh, Emma's your daughter? That's my daughter's name's Emma.
Oh, really? Hey,
Yeah.
maybe you should get a potato pin too. But yeah, so we did that whole thing, and it's so simple. You guys, Black Friday, if you need the email sequence, I got you. Go find me over at Hey Stephanie Live. If you need the Black Friday email sequence, I got you there. If you already have something going on, Stampede Social is going to have you covered there. Marie, if you're doing anything, you want people to go check out your listings and all that other stuff. It's so freaking simple, rather than just, oh, someone clicked on it, because your Instagram story will say like, this is how many clicks you got, but it won't necessarily tell you who. And that's where Jeff and I are really saying, when you have someone in the DMs, that's where you could build a deeper relationship and conversation with them. And it makes it really fun.
Yeah, one of the cool things that Stampede does, if you're into data, if you're not, this won't be as cool for you. But it collects all the comments from every Instagram live post and reel that you do, every direct comment during those events. And then there's a top fans report, top engagers report. So you could see, like, you can go, oh, Stephanie, I'll click on reporting. And then so you can see like, oh, Stephanie has commented 30 times. So you can, where it says top engagers there.
Yep.
So that will say like, oh, Stephanie commented 30 times. So you can start to understand who's engaging with you the most. Yep. This also gives you all your Instagram post stats, which is great, especially if you don't have another program that does that. It does all that. And so this is cool. We're gonna pretty soon that coming up, there's gonna be some cool things on this page, just some visual reporting to make this more of a dashboard. We're constantly getting feedback from the folks using it, and we're constantly making it better and easier to use and all that kind of good stuff. So so it's awesome.
Marie is saying, I feel like this would be amazing for my restaurant clients who are building their email list. Yeah. Build your email list, or even like book a table. It makes it super simple. Just
because everyone's doing that now. It's like, stop using it for menus. My phone's too small. Like, I can't figure it all out. No, I'm kidding. It would be great for the restaurants.
Yeah.
Drop me an
one
email.
of the things, I think it was Lydia who was talking about it before. She was talking about how she's going to do like 12 days of Christmas. One of my other clients is going to do like a 12-day of Christmas. And I told her, yeah, you could have a separate hashtag for each one of the days. And how simple would that be? Where it's just like hashtag 1, 2, 3, right? And then just go down the list, or do something super special for it. And it makes it really fun.
Katie had a question.
Katie did. Yeah.
She
says,
you're much quicker than I am. You were like right on top of that.
Is it for Instagram only?
Okay, it is for Instagram only. We the history of it is we originally built it for Twitter, and then Twitter kind of got a little crazy. So we focused on a full suite for Instagram because Instagram, being one of the top platforms, has a lot of shortcomings for creators. The one that we've been talking the most about is being able to deliver content without any friction. So we fixed that. There's a couple other things, from the restaurant point of view, that Marie mentioned. We track user generated content real easily as well. So those restaurants can say, hey, use a hashtag and tag us. And all those photos would pull into our interface, our dashboard as well. And so that we took and made a lot easier on Instagram. And the other cool thing, which we haven't talked about at all, but I'll just mention as a teaser, is post level giveaways are all built into the dashboard. So you can run a giveaway based on just the post or the reel or during a live event. And we have a winner selection tool built in to it. So when you add stuff to the dashboard, like we watched Stephanie do at the beginning of this, and you click into it, click on home, and you click into one of the posts, it will allow you to, you can probably just click on that one. Yeah. So so the cool thing that this does is, just if everyone's likes to geek out, is we haven't even talked. Yeah, it shows you all the stats for a particular post right at the top. So you don't have to go dig into your app and see how something's doing. So you can be really on top at the top level here, how your posts are performing. And to me, that as a creator is one of the cool things, because you can say, oh, this one's not doing well. All right, let's put out another one. You see AI help there. There you can generate AI responses to the comments as they come in. If you scroll down the page just a little bit more, Stephanie, there you go. So under AI options, you can see Stephanie's got the Pro Plus. I don't know. Oh, so yeah, so you can pick, like, there's 50 in each one of these, so you can pick a tone and a theme, and then when you go hit AI help, it will create a response to that comment in context to the caption. So we know what the caption is because we can read that as well, and then we generate stuff like in context to it. So it really kind of takes it to another level. And then you can see on Stephanie's in the corner there, it also says AI post comment analysis report underneath content creator at the very bottom there. That will generate a report based on those comments. So it'll give you it'll download a little marketing report. So if you're doing something or talking about a particular topic, say, here's the positive sentiment, the negative sentiment, da, 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 it kind of just breaks it down. I know I'm blowing Doc Rock's mind, but but underneath the word update, there's a little present icon, and then if you scroll back down, it says how many max responses. So you can click on that, meaning you can enter one time, right? So if Stephanie wanted to sneak in and enter 50 times, we can make it so she can only enter one time. And by that I mean a comment. These are the giveaways where you go tag a friend below and use the fire emoji,
Yeah.
or like whatever it is, where you're not necessarily sending them to a registration form. With the automated DMs, that's a great way to get people to a registration form where you can collect emails for a mailing list. But sometimes you just want to keep them in the post. And then if you told them to comment something, like say you told them to comment hashtag sweeps or something, you can leave that blank. But then if you hit shuffle, what it does is it'll dedupe all the comments, randomize it 5 times, and then just download the basically a top-down winners list for you to choose. So it's pretty cool. We're not
That's so
lawyers,
cool.
so you do your rules and all that kind of stuff.
You do your rules.
You do your
Yeah.
rules. But I did work in the promotion industry for 6 years, so I know that this is extremely helpful.
I love it. And Doc is saying it's 8:15 here and I'm already spinning. Doc, okay, so Doc, this is what I was thinking, because so one of my clients, as I said before, she's going to do the 13 days of giveaways, right? And so I was telling her, you can do an Instagram live, and then instead of just saying comment once with this particular hashtag, I would have the eCam countdown timer, and I would say, okay, here's a minute countdown. The person, comment eCam 5 times. That will give you 5 entries into it. And then once the countdown timer is done, I basically have Stampede Social open in the background, and boom, I just pick a winner. And so it makes it really simple because then on the back end too, I just say like, hey, you won, just reply back, yay. And then that will give you the link to basically give me your email address and I could ship you basically the product. So to me, that was the part where I was like, yeah.
Yeah. And you can use it for surprise and delight too, which means you don't have rules and you didn't say it was a giveaway, but you get people talking about something and you just can randomly pick someone and tell them that, hey, I want to send you a mug or whatever. I mean, so
Yeah, no, I love my mugs. When I went to Creator Camp, I got like a mug from Luis and all the other people like brought all this good stuff. But shout out to Cynthia who says, mind blown, creative juices are working so much to go out and try now. Yeah, and honestly, Cynthia, next week I'll give you another example of how to use this. So I think our last our last live stream, Jeff, I showed people how I was using Instagram Live to sell out my intensives and my workshops. I randomly went live on Instagram. Someone said, hey, can you do a training? I was like, sure, here's the link, purchase. And that was amazing. Algot is saying, can I just use this for Insta starting a new profile? I'm not an influencer or anything. That's a great question.
great question. I will say that Stampede Social or any kind of tool that you kind of integrate with is likely going to be more effective if you have a following and some engagement already, because it's not specifically going to help you grow or reach new people. It will over time because you'll be creating great content and engaging with people. But this is a good way to engage with the folks that you already have or are aware of you, or you can reach out to, or you can attract during a live. And so, in that sense, it's, in terms of when Stephanie talked about return on investment, that's probably where you're going to see it faster. I say that because I want to be honest.
Well, okay,
But
and so this is where like my marketer brain comes in, right? What if I was just starting an an Instagram profile, I could do a live stream with, let's say, Marie. Are those comments, and basically leverage her audience because it'll say Stephanie and Marie are live together. Will Stampede Social pull in all of the comments from both of our live streams, or is it just only my account because my account is connected to Stampede? Does that make sense?
if you start it and you're connected to Stampede and you
Yeah.
bring her in, then it should do both, right? Any automations would come from you, right? But because you're the primary one, so it doesn't necessarily, right? So it does build on. You can use, I don't, I just, you can use, what's it called? Tag, when you invite someone else to the post, not tag their at,
Like a
but
collaborator?
collaborator,
Yeah.
collaborator. So Stephanie could do a post and then tag as a collaborator Stampede Social. And then when it goes on, it would show on the Stampede Social timeline or my timeline, whichever, whoever's the collaborate she's collaborating with, they could comment. It will still work, even though they commented on my timeline, even though it was Stephanie's post. They'll get the DM from Stephanie, not from mine, even though it was on my timeline. Because on my timeline, it's a mirror of the person who has Stampede Social. So,
Wait,
you know,
say that again. So if I tag
okay,
you as a collaborator, but somebody comments on your post, do they get my DM from Stampede?
yes.
No way.
So
I didn't know that. Wait, sorry.
yeah, so yeah, so that, so you might want to mention that in the thing because they'll be like commenting on what they think is a Jeff Dwoskin post, but get a DM from Hey Stephanie, right? So it's just semantics, and everything is always just making sure your audience is kind of aware of what they're doing. That's why you never say comment #need. You say comment #need, and I'll send you a DM. You want people to understand what's going to happen when they do something. And I'm not trying to talk you out of doing Stampede Social, but if when you say I'm starting a new one and you have 0 followers, I'm just saying you have to really kind of be committed to ramping up and building that account, um, you know, quickly, I
Yeah.
suppose. Yeah.
Okay, but wait though. I'm like, if I wanted to do like a Black Friday, Cyber Monday bundle, right? I could probably do something like myself, Marie, and Doc, and because you could have like what, 3 collaborators on a post.
I read that once, and for some, I don't know if everyone has that feature or not.
Oh,
So
really? Oh, I have
I
it.
don't know. I don't. Do you? Well, because I think they like you better. But last time I checked, I thought I could only add one. But you're right. I did read that you could have three. So really, when you create the post,
Yeah.
Hey Stephanie creates the post, and you're connected to Stampede Social, and then you add them as collaborators, and they accept it. So it's now visually on their timeline. It's
Mm-hmm.
really just a mirror of your post on their timeline, right?
Yeah.
So that's why when they engage with it, they're really engaging with you, not them. Even though visually, to them it looks like they're engaging with Doc, because it's on
Yeah.
his timeline. Um, so that's why it works. That's why it works. But only the commenting one. You can't do the comment or DM, because if
Oh,
they
got
DM
it.
Doc, it won't work. I mean, Doc, and then well, because Doc's not connected to Stampede Social, right? And
It's
in this
true.
scenario,
Yet.
I assume he's running to do it right now. But but either way, the so that's where like it works fine for commenting, and that kind
Okay,
of thing.
so I have so many ideas, and it's probably because I drank so much coffee this morning. But even for my friends that are Amazon influencers, right? It's if you wanted to use the collaboration post and all of you are working towards like one Amazon influencer store for, let's say, your studio guide or whatever that is, collectively, that could really drive a lot of Amazon affiliate income that way. I've got so many ideas. Jeff, I'm like, wait a
That's
second, here's another idea for us to talk about. Like, I could totally build out that structure. Here's a campaign, and then boop, boop. This is how you would use Stampede Social to collect that all together.
Yeah,
It's wild.
yeah, it's wild. The Stampede Social. What's cool about it is, which I'm excited to hear you talking like this, is it wasn't built. It was built with structure, but not complete structure, right? Meaning like you can. It's always interesting when people start using something and then you go, "Oh, I didn't think about that. You could have used
Yeah.
it that way." You know what I mean? So, I thought of most of it. I'm brilliant. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but but that to me is what's really cool. Oh, I was using that link and doing this. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. So that kind of thing. So yeah, it's very cool.
That's fascinating. Here's a question from Algot. He's asking, or she, can I ever ask either of you to collaborate? Yeah, sign up to be affiliate of Stampede Social, and then
Yeah,
right, I think
yeah,
that would make the most sense. I don't know what business product or service you have to offer, but literally, I would imagine, yeah, okay, so influencer marketing campaigns. If I was an affiliate and I had like this really amazing banger of an Instagram reel, I would love to tag or even add Stampede Social as a collaborator, because then that would be really cool. And then you would have the comment functionality, and then it would come in through. And then now I'm driving to my affiliates. I just have so
right.
many
Well,
ideas.
what the really cool part for influencers is, if I'm an influencer and I'm using Stampede Social, or you're an influencer, right? And you're using Stampede Social. So if you're driving people to Ecamm to sign up for Ecamm, or driving people to Stampede Social to sign up for Stampede Social with the promo code Ecamm, ECAMM, then from your point of view as the influencer using Stampede Social, you have now a deeper um, reservoir of data that you can show the person that's hiring you to drive this traffic, and thus increase your own value. So meaning, like, if Ecamm or Stampy Social, you know, says, Stephanie, all right, we need you to drive sales. And you say, okay. And then the old world, it would be go to my link in bio. And then you just would wait a month for them to tell you we got 5 signups or whatever it is, right? In this world, and this is influencers, but it's really for anyone. But in this world, now you're generating these links. They're all trackable and attributable. You know how many you sent out. You know how many people clicked on it. You know how many times those people clicked on it. The posts that you create or the reels that you create, you now have a deeper sense of data on those, because not only can you see real quick how well those are doing, and if they're not doing well, put out another one that maybe will resonate more. And because you're collecting all the comments that come in, you can tell, hey, Cam, here's all the cool things people were saying about you, this, or hey, somebody brought this up as well. And now, because now you have access to all those comments, which you didn't before. So as an influencer or even just a social media manager working for your own, the brand that you work with or anything, you're now armed with a lot more to show the value that you're giving and that you're providing. So, that in that sense, you can, leverage your talents more. You can prove your talents more. When you're doing that yearly review, you can be like, well, we drove all this, we did all that, all that kind of stuff. So
I love it. And Brandon's saying, in the old world, Stampede Social is the way now. This is the way.
That's right, Brandon. welcome to the new world. And yet another tagline. This is live streams are great for coming up with taglines for your company. That's
it is, because I feel like the audience will tell you basically what really resonates with them. And if you guys haven't even considered this yet, so I consider myself a B2B content creator. I love to geek out on tech. There's certain, software and tools that I use. Obviously, Ecamm, Stampede Social, and all the different things. My plan, and you could steal this if you want to, is I want to create short form videos. I want to create reels. Like Brandon's already editing a couple for me. And once I push it out there, once I demo, how to use that tool, how it's helping me do X, Y, and Z, my call to action is basically comment this, and then it gives you where you get to save X, Y, and Z. So my whole Black Friday, holiday shopping, all of that affiliate marketing and stuff, that's definitely in my game plan. And so for those of you that haven't even thought about that, there's another idea for you to steal from. Yay! Yeah, someone gave us some hearts and some likes. Yes! You get what I'm saying? Like so earlier we were talking about how to create your own lead magnet, your own mini course and all of that stuff. Yes, that's great if you want to create your own email list, but literally if you are using different tools out there, right, and you are an affiliate, hello, I'm an affiliate for Stampede, then it makes sense for me to create content off of that. Or if they have creative assets, I'm going to use those creative assets and push that out there. That's always going to be fun. Here's one from Algot saying, since I already paid for Stampede, I might as well keep the discount for that day when I have thousands of followers. Yes, you should. And then Brandon says, this is the way. That's right. That's right.
Brandon.
I love it. All right. So for those of you that if you're tuning in late, basically link in bio is basically dead at this point. Rest in peace. If you're still doing it, or if you have a friend that does it, do what I do. I slide into their DMs. I'm like, use this. I literally tell them, Jeff, I'm like, you're leaving money on the table by directing people to your link in bio. So for those of you, if you don't have Stampede Social yet, if you want to use this for you, your teams, your clients, oh my gosh, your clients are absolutely going to love you because you're going to see conversions. Then head on over to stampede.social, use the promo code ECAMM, ECAMM for 20% off any subscription. You guys are still just in time. I mean, Black Friday, Cyber Monday kicks off next week? I saw other people already doing like their holiday sales right now. Jump in on this, have fun with it, because there's a lot there's a lot of people that are doing promos. I laugh because this person says, I hate that link in bio. There you go. See, literally, Jeff, you could use this in your next campaign. You'd be like, I hate that link in bio thing. It's so annoying.
Facebook user says.
Facebook user says. So, no, it was hilarious.
It's an insane concept, right? The idea that I'm at a post and now you want me to go somewhere else, click to the profile, click to the link in bio, try and find it, and it's like, it just doesn't even make sense. It doesn't.
I agree. And so Algot is agreeing as well. And I'll show you something, you guys, when I first, okay, I'm going to show them this one thing, and then I know we're over time. It's because we're having fun. But originally, when I was going to have Jeff on the show, I was like, oh, we'll do Instagram. We'll make it really fun. And then you guys, I was like, wait a second. No, this is different. Your rest in peace link in bio, because it was the holidays and whatnot. And I was like, oh, this is a great campaign. I could put this in there. And then Brandon was like, you should use this one because this one's really fun.
Look at that.
Trust me, like this is going to be all over like Pinterest and all the different things. That's like my campaign that I'm doing right now. But even this one, the whole disgust, right? Like, ew, you're still saying link in bio. I just love the way that this is designed, and this made a lot of sense to me. And then even this one was just like, oh, it's so cringe. Like, so Jeff, I was like, I was gonna start sprinkling this out there, and then obviously that was the one for today. But yeah, when people say that link in bio is so annoying, absolutely makes sense. Doc Rock is saying, look, folks, this will boost your affiliate. It is, Doc, no joke. When I did the unboxing video and I linked it over to that little mini site with all of my Amazon stuff, my offsite commissions, boom, went up. I was like, this is a no-brainer. Anytime I get something from Amazon, I'm just going to like go live on Instagram, connect the two, get it done. And then, oh, look, Jeff, you're going to like this. It says literal cheat code. Stampede Social is your cheat code for turning conversations into cash. Something like that. There's something in there.
We one that we toy with is turning comments into commas.
Commas and decimals. Boom, boom, boom. I love it. Good. People complain how much my gear recommendations are, yet they're leaving affiliate money on the table every month. Yeah, do something about it. All right, friends. This has been fun. I hope you are super motivated this Monday for all the different things that you could do with Stampede Social. You know, I just showed you how I'm using AI to grow my email list, which then I gave you the Black Friday email sequence, which you could totally swipe, go from there. And then we went off on tangents of like, hey, affiliate marketing, hey, this, do all the different things, have fun with it. Alga is saying, I'm thinking starting my profile with Stampede without link in bio might be the way to go. Hey, there you go. Love it. All right, Jeff, any last words for the crew?
You know, thank you guys so much. Stephanie and I think both have like a real passion for just, helping people and creating things and sharing things that we want to help you, so, thanks, Brandon. So, I'll reach out to anyone who signs up. If you have any questions, you'll be able to, in addition to this, the emails that get sent out automatically, you'll get one from me, which I actually send from Jeff. So if you have any questions or anything, I want you all to be successful. I appreciate you hanging with us here on this live stream, and boom, let's do it. Thanks, Stephanie. You're awesome.
Of course.
Thank you all also for hanging with us for this last hour. Appreciate it.
That was fun. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Jeff, for coming up with this. You made this like completely simple. I told everyone else, gosh, I've used all these other funnels, and like stuff would break. And I'm just like Doc, where it's like, I just want to set it up, forget it, not have to worry about it. And this is just so simple. It's a no-brainer. Get a 40. Doc. Hey, Doc, I'll make that one. That'll
Doc's
be my
on fire. Doc is on fire.
Yeah, he just woke up. He's in Hawaii. He's just like, Doc, you know what? If you were to make a Canva graphic of you with the 40 and you're just like, rest in peace, link in bio, I think that would work. Sign up to be an affiliate of Stampede Social too,
All right. Thanks, everyone.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Brandon, Doc, Algot, the rest of the crew, Lydia, you're absolutely amazing. We'll catch you next time. We'll be here next week. Let me know what you want to learn next, because I'm going to do another tutorial for you of just basically how I'm leveraging Stampede Social to grow my email list, to make Q4 like the best freaking revenue for me. And then we'll go from there. Yeah?
Sounds like a plan.
All right, Jeff. Thank you so much. Bye for now, everyone.